This program is intended for mature audiences. Parental discretion is advised.
Wow, come look at this Christmas tree. We're talking Bloodbeat. Hit it. It was 1983. Dungeons and Dragons was on Saturday morning. War Games was in theaters. And a samurai ghost or psychic manifestation or something happened. I'm your host, Jerry D, with another episode of Totally Rad Christmas, the podcast that talks all things Christmas in the 80s. Toys, movies, specials, music, and fads. If it was gnarly during Christmas in the 80s, we got it covered. Now, joining me are two Totally Rad Christmas All-Stars and Ratty winners. You'll know them from Horror for the Holidays. It's Jeff and Jay. Guys, how's it going?
It's going great. We celebrated our win. We now refer to ourselves as an award-winning podcast.
It's true.
That's right. Yeah, you are.
we were one of one in one category, and we dominated. We took
That's right. There was no prisoners.
Flawless victory.
This is the kind of me knocking the microphone over. This is what people listen. This is what people listen to Horror for the Holidays for.
Oh, I've been there. I did. There was once I did a whole episode on M&Ms and realized my microphone wasn't plugged in. So yeah, that was fun.
We've recorded a couple episodes on the laptop mic instead of the external mics. That was fun.
Our trip to New Jersey, we had one of those. I was editing. I'm like, why does it sound so bad? Everything was right, and then like, I don't think our mics were plugged in.
Yep, been there. It's happened to me twice. So no worries. It's good to see you guys. It's been, I think it's been about a year, honestly.
Yep.
But so it's good to talk to you. You know, we're here to talk about this weird 1983 film that nobody's ever heard of except for like us Christmas horror nerds. Before we do that, though, just like Carol Kane did to Bill Murray and Scrooge, I want you to hit me with the toaster. So I'm going to ask you a few questions and I want you to hit me with the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay. You don't have to think too hard about it at all. So would you rather try to survive against Krampus or Art the Clown?
Krampus.
Art the Clown is brutal.
Yeah. I feel like it would hurt a lot more too.
it even though like I finally saw a Terrifier movie last year. We went and saw Terrifier 3 and we'd watched Terrifier 1 for our Halloween Spooktacular, where we do a Halloween movie every week in October. And by the end of it, I was like it's brutal, but also it's very Looney Tunesy. Like
yeah, it totally is.
Yeah. Krampus at least operates by a set of rules.
Yep.
Art's just a wild card.
I mean, I guess if we're talking traditional Krampus, what he's gonna spank me and maybe drag me to hell. Art's gonna like skin me alive and like dump salt on me or something.
Yeah, that's a hard pass. All right, who do you think would win in a fight? The samurai spirit from this movie or the kid from Dial Code Santa Claus?
Oh,
Dial Code Santa Claus.
Agreed.
He'd come up with some sort of fun trap, right? The samurai would
he'd be able to engineer an artificial blood beat that would be stronger than this blood beat.
So yeah, it needs to be said right off the bat. I guess this is as good a time as any. Jeff and I refer to the powers as the blood beat because that's the only thing that makes sense.
I'll
with
take
the
it.
title of the movie.
I'll take it because nothing really tracks in this film, and we'll get into it. I'm excited to get into it. It's crazy.
Our last appearance on this show was about a French movie, and we're again doing a French movie.
I'm starting to detect the theme. I didn't even realize it until I started looking into it. I was like, oh, okay. These directors,
he's French, but then he lived in like a commune in Wisconsin or something.
Wisconsin,
he was born in French Indochina, which is now Vietnam. Wow. Moved to France, grew up there, moved to Wisconsin in his 20s, hooked up with a woman who apparently was fairly wealthy and was able to fund this project for him. And that's how this movie got made. Yeah.
Did a bunch of drugs.
Yeah.
A bunch of drugs. Yes.
Oh yeah. He freely admits that.
Yeah, he does. And it's pretty evident in this movie. But finally, let's say that Santa Claus got sick. Which 80s horror villain would take his place?
Well, Can we? It'd probably be the best Santa Claus. It would have to be Harry Standling from Christmas Evil. He wants to be
Nice.
Santa Claus so bad
Right.
that he paints sleigh on the side of his van and gets chased by a mob, like as though he's some kind of Frankenstein's monster.
I like
First
that.
thing that popped into my mind was Michael Myers just walking from house to house with a bag of toys,
Slowly,
Yeah.
methodically.
appearing in rooms by Christmas trees and then appearing in other houses.
I'd take that just to see Michael Myers with a big old Santa beard.
Yep.
Man, I'm in. I
mean,
like that.
If we wanted to talk about the best killer Santa, though, it'd be Ricky, right?
Yeah.
He'd be Ricky from Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, famous
Part
for
two,
Garbage
yeah.
Day.
Garbage Day.
He would be
Yeah.
a great regular Santa.
Well, that's just a way for our listeners to get to know you guys a little bit better. So thank you for that. Now, tonight we're here to talk about Bloodbeat.
A ghost, a devil, a poltergeist. Call it what you will, It lives, breathes. You'll be paralyzed with fear as it kills, and mutilates anyone in its path. A girl possessed, tormented by a psychic powers. Bloodbeat, a horrifying chain of inexplicable events, an evil presence seeking revenge, spilling blood, spreading terror. Bloodbeat.
What do you guys know? What's your history experience with it? What do you remember?
Good, great movie. Best movie ever made. I believe there was a stand up and cheer moment when we did an episode about Bloodbeat about a year ago.
This is the first time that I ever questioned Jay's sanity when he was effusive with praise about this movie, and then I saw it, and I walked out of it kind of bewildered. And his wife was like, "Oh, okay, good. You don't get it either."
No, and I'm right there with you because I don't know what's doing in this film, man. I don't even know if I call it a film. I think I call it like a flick.
Time, nothing.
That's right, exactly. It's like everything happens and nothing happens, and it's a doozy. We get like ghost samurais, we get psychic powers, we get stalking and hunting deer that you then have to clean. I mean, it's wild.
Mystical boinging.
Exactly.
Yeah, you gotta have the subtitles on for that.
I did have the subtitles on. So I made sure to grab a screen grab of that. So I was like, "What? What's mystical boinging? What does that mean?"
It is now my go-to sound effect.
It's the sound that the Bloodbeat makes when it activates. It's obvious.
Yeah.
That's you know what? You guys are smarter than I am because I did not figure that out. Yeah. So the whole film, written and directed by this Frenchman that you mentioned, Fabrice Ange, I think it's Zafiridos. Yeah. And yeah, like you said, he freely admitted that he was on mind-altering drugs when he wrote it. And I believe it because there's things that are comic booky about it, but then things that just don't add up. And I'm also when he, quote unquote, wrote it, was it just like a treatment? Because it seems like there's a whole lot that's just improvised.
Well, he also freely admits that he had no desire to be a director. He just had this idea and decided to execute it, and he has never done anything related to filmmaking since either.
Good for him.
I mean, when you make a perfect movie, you don't need to.
And if you want to know more evidence that drugs were heavily involved in this production, he didn't realize that the cinematographer was shooting this for TV until 15 days into the shoot.
It's why half the movie looks, especially the end, right? The end looks terrible.
Yes,
it looks really
TV.
bad. Yeah. I mean, that checks out. I totally buy that because, yeah, there are some
Why
parts.
is half this movie in 4:3?
That's just how it goes,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, I mean, it's something, right? So I feel like this is one of those movies you can kind of nutshell, but if you try to deep dive into the plot, you won't get it. You
Yeah.
know, it's so basically a guy, well, like some kids go home for Christmas to like this remote cabin in the woods to see his mom and her husband. And he brings his girlfriend. And while there's like some sort of weird mystical or psychic thing that happens. And then people start dying from like
she sees a picture of herself as a child in the house, I think. And that causes her to masturbate. And she gets psychic powers. I don't know what's
yeah. It's a big and and yeah, I guess it's like reflected in like the gaping wounds left by the samurai sword.
Mhm.
I don't know, but
Oh yeah, it's something all right.
It totally is. Is that what it was? It was a picture of herself?
It's either a picture of herself or a picture of the mom as a child.
It's a picture of the mom's sister whose spirit is inhabiting the samurai armor. Now, the only reason I know that is because I contacted Jay Bauman because Red Letter Media did a review of this movie on a rewind, and he actually got in contact with the director and asked him questions. So he has a transcript from that interview, and he explains lore backstory to the movie that is nowhere to be found in the actual movie itself.
That's not in the movie.
But yes, that's the mom's sister as a child who died in an accident.
Okay.
And the samurai armor is armor that their father claimed after killing said samurai in World War II.
Of course, because the samurai were just running around during World War II.
That's right. That's
same era.
As one does, right? Okay.
And of course, you'll notice the wood carving of Woodstock is prominently featured in one of the bedrooms, and that's because this is also an anti-war film.
Of course.
Sure, yeah.
I totally got that.
Yeah.
That message came across right away.
Yes, that's information you would have no way of knowing unless you've read this one interview with one person that this director did 40 years after the fact.
Wow. That's wild, man. So so she's a reincarnation of the sister then?
Yes. That's why she has the Bloodbeat powers that runs in their family bloodline, apparently.
Yeah, because later on, spoiler alert, the kids use their psychic powers in the weirdest pose I've ever seen someone use a psychic power.
Yes.
They're like, their legs are, it's like shoulder width apart, their hands are down by their sides, but facing outward, and their mouths are just open. And it's, I don't think I've ever seen Professor X or Jean Grey or anybody use psychic powers like that.
No, The blood beat's not as clean of a psychic power as some others.
Yeah. So I guess there's telepathy, there's pyrokinesis, there's telekinesis, there's blood beat.
True. What if at the end of the movie they had walked outside and outside had been like Professor X in his wheelchair and he'd been like, I want to bring you to Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters.
Then it would have been the greatest movie ever. I would have been all in on that.
Sometimes being gifted doesn't feel like a gift. Nobody seems to understand you. Sometimes they're even scared of you. Wouldn't it be great if you didn't have to worry about hiding your gifts anymore? Hi, I'm Jubilee, and it wasn't that long ago when I felt that way too. But then I became a student at Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters, and everything changed. At Xavier's, you'll meet students and even teachers who are just like you and understand everything that you're going through. Under the guidance of world-renowned geneticist Professor Charles Xavier, you'll learn how to control your gifts while also getting the education and training that you need to succeed in the fast-paced world of 1983. So why be alone when you can make some excellent new friends here? Xavier's is no ordinary school, so let's face it, you're no ordinary student.
Thanks, Jubilee. You were right. Xavier's is totally rad.
Operators are standing by.
Okay. So I think I'm starting to understand. So that would explain then why there's a supernatural samurai in Wisconsin. It just so happens that her dad had the armor, which how do you do that? You just kill someone and then you just like loot them like in a video game?
He brought it back as a war trophy, I'm assuming.
I guess so, yeah.
In D&D, you slaughter the boss and you loot the corpse. Like
But then, so what happens to the armor? Because, before she does her biz, she opens up the chest, right? And she finds the armor and the sword and everything. And then they go back and it's like gone, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So where did that go?
I assume it got inhabited by the ghost
it's
samurai.
back to the spirit world when the ghost is using it, I guess. It's the
Okay.
only thing that I could think.
You know what? I mean, I'll take it at this point for sure. Okay. So Sarah, because my thought for a long time was Sarah, who's the girlfriend of the son. I thought she was a reincarnation of like the samurai warrior, but
that would make more sense.
I think that's honestly what I thought until
Yes.
Jeff just said this.
Yes. That's what I assume too, because that would make sense.
I mean,
Somebody
it made more
outside
sense.
The family, coming back for revenge, possessed by the samurai spirit. But yeah, no, apparently not.
Yeah, because now it really did. So then, how did the sister die? Because then, why would her spirit that's inhabiting this armor just want to kill people? Is it just because spirits want to kill people? I guess.
Must kill Mo. Whee! Must kill Mo. Whee!
I don't know.
He never said for sure, but the only thing I can think is maybe her accident was not an accident. Maybe the spirit of the armor actually killed her, and maybe that's why she's bound to the armor. I don't know.
I was gonna say I don't know that it's ever expressly said. It would not surprise me if maybe there was like a fire, because isn't there something about like don't the pictures light on fire at one point or something?
They do. Yeah, she like burns it with pyrokinesis at one point.
And so like maybe the sister died in a fire that was started by the mom or something.
So is it like a Prom Night 2 Hello Mary Lou situation here? And the armor okay. Well, now I really love this
mysterious ways. We'll never know for sure.
I'm starting to see that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and then the other thing I had for a long moment, and so this explains a lot, but I thought that the samurai was like a psychic manifestation, like when Professor X and the Shadow King would fight in like the astral plane, know, like in the X-Men comics or in the X-Men cartoon from the 90s. And I thought it's got to be that, but no. Okay, so I guess that's out of the question.
No, but then it is in the real world, but it's also
right. That's why
that's the thing is it's both a ghost and a manifestation, because it's tangible. You can interact with it.
Right.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So then
don't dive too deep, or you also be driven insane by the
well, that's also for all the listeners who are thinking, oh, this is a ghost movie. The samurai stuff is also a slasher movie. It's like that needs to be said as well.
Yeah. And it all happens on Christmas. They drive up Christmas. I guess it's Christmas Eve or something, but they drive up. There's a big old Christmas tree. The neighbors have their Christmas lights on, and that's really about it. It's more of one of those that take place at Christmas, but for my show, I count just about anything. So yeah, it's a Christmas.
Yeah, we do too.
Sure. Yeah,
we have a rating that's how Christmassy is the movie.
right. And so this is pretty low, but I do enjoy like when they're playing Monopoly by the Christmas tree. I'm like, oh, that's okay. I can take that.
Which they never finish, by the way.
No,
I mean, how could you? It's Monopoly.
That's right. If you're not like smashing the board and throwing all the hotels everywhere, are you even playing it correctly? Okay. So just a few more questions, then we can actually get into some of the actual nitty gritty of it. But so what's the deal with her big O during the murders? Like that seems to be how it's all activated, right? Like she's I
assume that's her Bloodbeat is activating through her Bloodbeat psychic powers activate through.
This is a strong argument against the female orgasm. It's dangerous. It can summon ghost samurai warriors that murder people around you.
Just don't worry about it, guys. Just
you don't want it to happen, honestly. It'd be worse for you if it does.
Otherwise, a samurai ghost is gonna just.
That's the only thing I could think is maybe that like concentrated like burst of energy or whatever is like waking the ghost up or something.
That's got to be it. It's got to be something to do with like
intense feelings of pleasure or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
It also seems to be drawn to the mom's intense pain too when she's like
that's true.
Stressed.
When she paints as well. Like the mom, by the way, because none of these people, I'd usually like to get into the cast. None of these people really are actors.
It's fitting because the director's not a director.
Because he's not exactly, and the budget was like this is what they could afford. So I tried looking them up. For most of them, this is like their only thing. I think there's like one or two that have like one other credit, but this is about it really.
Yep.
So yeah, there's no real reason to get into any of that. But like the mom, she has a look about her that's almost like a Shelley Duvall in The Shining.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Like every time I saw her, I was like, she's not quite Shelley Duvall,
I was gonna say she's we've got Shelley Duvall at home.
Yeah.
That's right. The Shelley Duvall from Wish.com. but like she has this thing where she has these visions because apparently there's this bloodbeat, this psychicness that runs through their entire family. And we don't know it's in the kids at this point. All we know from most of the movie is that it's the mom and it causes her to paint. And she's like stuck in a room and like her marital status is questionable a lot of times because all she wants to do is be inside and paint these visions.
Tell me, what's going on?
I can't tell you. I can't.
Damn it, Cathy, will you wake up? What do you think I am anyway? Some kind of a piece of plastic that you could just push around and then dispose of me when I'm all finished? Oh, I know that you're very bright, and you're very talented, and you're very full of visions. But I'm not, Cathy. I'm just a simple man. I need some attention, and I need some affection.
I feel like my 6-year-old probably could paint.
Well, I think this might go back because if she knows that orgasm in this area is dangerous around this armor, that could explain some of their marital problems as well.
That's true. That's super true because she's
afraid to feel anything too intense because she doesn't want to wake up the samurai ghost.
Wow. That's okay. Now we're getting into a whole. Now we're really getting to a whole
way
thing.
more credit than it deserves.
I think you are.
This all tracks.
But I love it. It works for me because I don't know what else to think. Okay. Yeah, it's just strange because they're like messing around. That's kind of where we get the first sense of like something very powerful. They're messing around, and I know her blouse pops open accidentally, like on set, and then they just kind of kept it in the film, but she pushes him away, but the mom also is like feeling all these things. And it's like these two, Sarah, who's the girlfriend, and the mom, they like sense each other. They have this weird thing where they like they feel each other's presence.
Now, like as soon as Sarah gets out of the car, like the mom's already giving her the cold shoulder.
Yeah,
and, like I think it's one of those where you could say like, oh well, the mom's being protective of her son, bringing a girlfriend home, but it's also her red bloodbeat sensing Sarah's blue bloodbeat.
Bloods in the Crips.
Are those the colors? Right? Those are the right colors.
Those are the right colors. Yeah. It's totally
rotoscoping.
It's totally Bloods versus Crips.
The presence I've not felt since.
That's right. Except in this case, Red is a good guy, I guess. And So it's more like G.I. Joe.
An argument in Star Wars. Which side is the good guys?
Well, yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So it's really strange. Yeah. So the kids are what? Ted and Dolly. Those are the kids. Ted's dating Sarah. He brings her home. Immediately, like you said, the mom there's a cold shoulder there.
I'd like you to meet Sarah, Mom.
We also get this interaction between the mom and her not quite husband, Gary.
Yeah.
And he wants to marry her. He wants to like tell the kids that he's going to marry their mom and I guess make an honest woman out of her or something. And she doesn't want to because she's been married before and burned before. And so that's kind of a little emotional beat that we've seen in movies and things like that. But
understand, Gary, every time I get close to somebody, a samurai ghost comes to life and murders them.
I mean, now talk about baggage, right? That's not again. Yeah. But there's even a part of the movie where he's like, hey, like I got needs too. And, that's why like you're always just stuck in here. And, what happens when us good old boys go crazy or something. So, yeah.
Maybe we could use our blood beats together this time. No, it's too dangerous.
Oh man. Okay, here's a question. So at the end of the film, this one's really wild. So at the end of the film, the samurai and Sarah actually like puts on the costume at this point, right? Like she actually finds it and is physically wearing it. Yes. And the mom dies during this whole thing, which now that you say that it's the spirit of the sister kind of makes a little sense because she keeps saying like, you're not like, you wouldn't take me away from my kids and you wouldn't take my kids away from me. So I guess it's like she's trying to play up a familial connection. But anyway, so Sarah has like this whole thing on, right? And she kills a mom. She's like getting ready to kill her boyfriend and his sister, and then all of a sudden they manifest their psychic powers.
Mhm.
How did they, like, both of them manifest so suddenly? How did this bloodbeat happen through them?
I'm guessing that the trauma of seeing their mom killed activated their blood beat. So that seems to be a common theme with psychic powers, is that trauma usually brings it about.
Okay.
Your Jean Grey situation.
True, like I don't know. The look on the boyfriend's face does maybe look like he's coming.
Well, yeah,
but
well, that's a side effect of the blood beat, Jay.
But yeah, I mean,
that's true. We already know that's provably true from earlier on.
Maybe it's a Lonely Island jizzed in my pants situation, and like he's channeling his blood beat right at that moment. Oh, I've been waiting for mom to die for so long, and his blood beat activates.
Either that or it's a Highlander type thing, and only
There
one
can
can
only
wield
be
the
one.
blood beat at a time. And so they absorbed their mom's blood beat when she was killed in front of them.
There can be only one.
Since they were both standing there and both able to receive it, they split it.
Yeah,
They split it, so it's not quite as powerful, but if they act in tandem,
Yes.
okay.
and with training from Professor X,
Yeah.
they
That's
could
right.
each be as powerful as their mom.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's
Perhaps
right.
more powerful.
Yep.
It'd be a real Luke Anakin situation.
Oh no. I mean, maybe with the daughter, but I don't know about the son. His, because that was pretty quick. Poor Sarah. But they do obliterate her at the end, right? She kind of like vanishes. So what happened? So did they defeat like the actual samurai and the armor, or like did Sarah die as well? I mean, I don't, because it kind of just ends, right?
I think that the samurai's blood beat was not able to bear the strain of their combined blood beat. And so he kind of dissipated. I don't know if he was actually destroyed or not. We'll have to wait till Bloodbeat 2. But I think when the process of him being destroyed, I think killed Sarah, and she vanished along with him.
Okay.
Bloodbeat 2 still beating.
Knowing what causes that just makes it so much funnier.
Samurai helmet just appears on someone else's nightstand, and the cycle starts over.
See, now that I'm into. I'd like that.
Your blood beat.
Like, ooh, what's this? And just puts it on, and yeah. So she goes to her room by herself. Right earlier in the movie, she goes to her room because she's like, I don't know, she's just the heat or just the intensity is building up, and so she has to go. And this is where she diddles herself and makes a samurai appear, this ghost warrior. And then the samurai goes, and is that where they kill the neighbor? Or is that where they kill the uncle?
I think the neighbor is first.
The neighbors, yeah, the neighbors are first. So, like, they go to kill, and I don't know why they chose these particular ones, but like they go to kill the neighbor, and it's a wife and a husband, and the wife goes downstairs to make some tea, and then she gets like impaled, and then the husband goes down and he actually tries to run away, and he gets pretty far for a bit.
Doesn't he get like chased in his underwear? Is it? I'm
Yes.
remembering. And they hate each other. That husband and wife. They despise each other.
So maybe the samurai was a hero. Maybe put him out of their misery, so they wouldn't have to live with each other.
He was sensing that they hadn't been able to blood beat in a while. And he was trying to spice up their lives.
There was no beating for them.
He was a hero, really, if we think about it.
That's right. So maybe you're right. Maybe the Sith are good.
From a certain point of view.
Yeah, and then later on, Ted goes up to check on Sarah, and he crawls into bed, and then she starts initiating, and they go at it, and then that's when the samurai starts to kill some more. And is that when it kills the campers? I think.
Yep. I think they're next.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, there's like some guys. They're just out in the woods with the fire and a lot of beers and.
Very Wisconsin. Yeah.
I mean, I guess I've never been to Wisconsin, so I'm just going to assume. But
and the guy's like, "I got to take a leak."
Yeah. And the whole time I'm like, have you never watched a horror movie? You don't go off by yourself in the woods in the middle of the night. It's like, that's just a no, man.
Well, in their defense, how were they to know in a farmhouse a few miles away a couple were blood beating and they were about to be murdered by a samurai ghost?
I mean, doesn't everybody?
Christmas season. Everyone knows at the Christmas season, a blood-beat samurai ghost shows up and starts murdering people.
Yeah. Well,
it's Santa, it's Krampus, it's the Christ child, and it's Ghost Samurai.
You're right, Jay. As a Midwestern guy, I should have known that.
I mean, that's part of the culture, right?
Yeah.
You know, you got the Jersey Devils, you got the Chupacabra down in the South, you got the Ghost Samurai Bloodbeat
in Wisconsin. Yeah.
That's right. Oh man,
I believe when one of the guys was killed, he right before he died, he said, "Go back, go." And he died.
he put on the cheese hat, you know.
Yeah. He said, "I'll have you know I'm an owner."
That's right. Okay, here's another question. So, and because I don't think that's it, and I don't even know if this question is possible to know, but
it's not.
Did Sarah?
I'm sure it's not.
Did Sarah ever like exhibit psionic abilities like beforehand? Like Ted never mentions it, right? So this is just something that turns up like all of a sudden when she sees like the mom.
I would assume so.
The moment that her personality flips is when she sees the hanging deer carcass, I think.
Right.
Something about seeing that bloody deer carcass like flip the switch in her.
Right. So as they're pulling up, Gary, the mom's not quite husband, is like cleaning a deer, which they did buy at a local farm. So it, I guess no animals were harmed in the making, or maybe they were. I don't know. But that's above my pay grade. But yeah, he's like cleaning the deer, gutting it and everything. And so they arrive, and Ted introduces Sarah. And so Gary's like about to shake her hand, but it's all bloodied. And then, she sees the deer. So what would have happened if like he hadn't been cleaning that deer? Would you think like the mom would have done it? Or what if it was like Ted and her get married like later on in life and, it just something happens that makes her like go crazy?
Honestly, I think it probably would have been another traumatizing event later on.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I guess I thought in my head, the moment that did it was the seeing the picture, but I got like
maybe
it's hard. It's hard to say. Truly, there's not enough information.
It's hard to tell what is bad acting and what is just her acting abnormal on purpose. So.
Well, you're supposed to film movies out of order. So she might have thought her character was already supposed to be acting weird by that point.
Well, that's true. Since they didn't even know what medium they were shooting the film for the first 15 days of production, I'm sure that that's also very possible. Like, oh, I actually gave you page 45 by accident. Well, we're going with it.
Yep.
No reshoots.
I do like the special effects, though, I got to say.
Yeah.
Because they're like that incredibly bad 80s special effects, like it's no ILM here. It's just like this pale blue glow around the samurai, and then around the mom's hands, like this red light, and then the kids have a similar like red and gold light coming from them when they activate. But it's weird, and I like it. It lets me really delineate the sides. These are the good guys, these are the bad guys, and that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, the reason that it was so they originally wanted to do more like rotoscope effects and try to make it look better, but they found out how expensive and time consuming that is. And so the director was like, all right, so we're going to get a blank film cell and we're going to put the aura and we're going to splice it together and we're going to do it every fifth cell. And so that's why it looks so hazy. Because it's only every fifth frame of the movie that the effect is actually in. So, that was a cost-saving measure.
That's awesome.
When you found out how expensive rotoscoping is.
And the funny thing is nowadays, like you click a button and it's done, right? I mean, yeah.
Oh my God. If he could make Bloodbeat today, I would love to see that.
Let's do it. Let's find it.
Years to hone his craft.
Yeah.
I'd be in. I'd be in it. I think it'd be fun.
Make two movies 40 years apart. Make it the exact same movie, just better special effects.
And make it word perfect, so you still don't explain anything. It's literally just. there's a lot of like long stretches of like B-roll, right?
We're trying to get this baby up to feature length.
That's right. That's right. It's like just long stretches of forest. There's, when Gary's hunting and like he's pulling the arrow back and it's super slow. I mean, they really stretch this out.
And it's like they cut to like Gary, and then they cut to like one of the other people with a gun. Then they cut to a third person, and then they cut back to Gary, and they like do this jump cut like 9 times in a row to just these same people not doing anything, just watching this deer.
We stretched it out as much as possible with cuts and editing, Jay. So now we're gonna have to add some slow-mo into these fight scenes so they take longer.
They're like, our movie's only 40 minutes long. How do we make this longer? I got it. Yep. Pull your bow back. But there's a point where Gary and Ted and Dolly, and I think their uncle, right? Uncle Pete. I think that's his name. Yeah,
Uncle Pete's here. We gotta go hunting.
What, the old cowboy?
Right.
Is that what he calls him?
that is what he calls him. But like they all go hunting, and is it Dolly, right? That sees the samurai.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that's when Gary grabs an axe and tries to fight him with an axe.
Yeah, as you do.
I mean, my first instinct when I see a samurai ghost is to grab an axe and try to fight him.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, what he was thinking. It wasn't just because that was the first thing laying around they had on set. It was actually because he knew that you have to pierce armor with a blunt-edged weapon like an axe. Sword's not going to do it. There's no point in trying to match him katana for katana. He's not.
No, you're outmatched totally. Yeah.
He also knew, because it is Christmas, that, as we always say on Horror for the Holidays, the axe is the most Christmassy weapon.
It's true.
It totally is.
Yeah.
It's
How do
true.
you claim your Christmas tree without an axe?
Yep.
That's true. Can we talk about like the poltergeist scene in the kitchen?
Yes. A power that's demonstrated once and never again.
And never ever again. Yeah. So during one of the blood beats, we get the fun little doors slamming and things shaking around, and it's like quite the Spielbergian moments.
Gary gets like pelted with like tab, right? Like if they're like
yes. Yeah,
we went crazy on the fishing line budget for this one.
And then you watch like the blue like consume the Christmas tree, and then it consumes the whole house, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does. It's like I didn't quite understand how all of that happened, but that was also par for the course for this movie, so it fit in perfectly.
Nobody understands.
She's working hard to contain the power of the Bloodbeat, but it's hard for her. Certain times, her defenses weaken. She has to get it back under control.
And when they hide in the closet, it's when we get the amazing subtitle sound effect of mystical boinging.
Mystical boinging.
What do you want here? Open up the door!
Oh man, I gotta use that all the time. I gotta find that and use that as like whenever someone texts me, just. Oh man, that's great. Yeah. So yeah, long story short, and we kind of already talked about it, but the kids get their psychic powers and they beat bloodily the samurai ghost. Sarah disappears. Presumably now her soul is also entwined with
friendly fire, I guess.
Sisters, yeah. And now Ted needs a new girlfriend. So that's kind of how it ends. Merry Christmas to all.
Well, to keep the bloodlines pure, there's really only one option.
Oh, no.
We got to concentrate this blood beat in a single powerful being in case the samurai ever returns.
That is the thing Charles Xavier would do.
It's probably true. Oh man, yeah. So I do feel bad. The mom dies, Gary dies, Uncle Pete dies, and it's literally just Ted and Dolly left over. So yeah, I mean, I guess if they move on with their lives, hopefully the samurai's done, but who knows?
I don't think so.
No,
a
I
blood
don't think
beat
so
that
either.
powerful, it leaves a mark. I don't know.
What if for the 50-year anniversary, secretly been working on Bloodbeat 2, still beating, and we just pick up right where, like, not right where we left off, but like 50 years later, and we've just got to explain all this.
The perfect announcement video would be if he just came on Twitter or YouTube and was like, "Well, I've been edging," and then he rolls the trailer.
This has been the weirdest movie I think I've ever seen, and I've seen Elves, but this is way weirder.
It's definitely up there.
Elves is weird in a completely different way.
That's right. Yeah, demonic creatures and neo-Nazis and who knows what. But yeah, that's the question I should have asked. If one of the elves fought the ghost samurai, who would win?
Oh, that's a tough one.
I don't know. I feel like the ghost samurai, but I think I might be. I might not be impartial. My love of Bloodbeat and all.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I guess it would really depend on what strength. If there's anybody currently blood beating close to him to give him more power, I think that would be the deciding factor.
That's true. If it's Sarah, hers seemed pretty powerful.
Yeah, no, that was dangerous.
The mom was able to control it like a little, but she was able to like beat it back.
Yeah,
no pun intended. Beat it back once, but
apparently Gary wasn't quite on the same level as her son. So
no, Gary couldn't quite get there. but yeah. So I mean, good job, Ted. Okay, I do have a question. If you could be in this movie, who would you be?
I want to say Uncle Pete.
Yeah. All right.
I think there's like a scene where they're pulling up and there's a car driving by. Maybe that person. Maybe
the one driving away from the movie. Yeah. I could see that.
I don't want to spoil a perfect movie by putting myself in it. I'll just be, oh, hey, I think they're filming Bloodbeat over there.
I mean, I think out of all of them, I think the answer's got to be Ted, right? I mean, he lives, and
if you want to have fun, Ted, yeah, for sure.
That's right. That's
Gets
right.
laid.
No, I'm changing my answer. I'm going to be the deer hanging up in the garage. His suffering has ended.
That's true. That's true. He didn't have to think about what happens in this movie. Oh man, what would you guys say is your happiest like memory or moment with this movie?
Seeing Jay's face when Mystical Boinging came on the subtitles while we were watching it the first time together. I think that's my best memory from this.
I think my best memory is probably Mystical Boinging. It's my favorite. I think I post that on like Twitter or Blue Sky at least once a year around Christmas time. I just post the caption Mystical Boing, and I'm like, Merry Christmas, and it's Mystical Boinging.
Mystical Boinging in parentheses. Oh, it's so great. Yeah, I mean, I really don't know. I think it's probably this conversation, honestly, because it's been not only enlightening but also fun. So.
Yes, I will be the first to admit that talking about Bloodbeat is way more fun than watching Bloodbeat.
Agreed. It wouldn't be so bad. I think there's just lots of really slow movements and like just drawn out sequences. And I think if some of those were mitigated a little bit by maybe a bit more dialogue, it'd be a really, really awesome movie.
But then he would have had to write more dialogue.
I don't know. I think some of it, they were just making it up on the day.
if it would have been paced more like a Deadly Game, I think it could have been more interesting.
Or even Silent Night, Deadly Night. That's
what if the fat kid on the bike had to escape from the ghost samurai?
The ghost samurai, instead of the crazed Santa, it's the ghost samurai.
Yeah.
Man, now I want to see like a horror crossover with all of these creatures in it, right? The elf, Krampus, the ghost samurai. We get Billy and Ricky, and yeah, I mean that'd be fun. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, now we come to my favorite part of the show, which is a little segment I call Gag Me with the Spoon, where we do our best impression of our least favorite part of the movie. As a guest, I'll let you go first. Just kind of set up the scene for us a little bit.
All right. We're in the kitchen. The Bloodbeat is fully manifested. You see, Sarah has donned the armor.
Yeah.
And now Mom says, "But it can't be you. You wouldn't harm me and my children, would you?"
"But it is me, and I shall destroy you."
See, that makes me think that the sister did have it. The mom had something to do with the
Yes.
sister's death, right?
It's got to be something. I think her bloodbeat accidentally killed her sister. Yeah. Sad when that happens, but species has to continue.
Her first husband were getting down or something, and the sister just donezo after that.
Jeff, that was too good. That was too good an impression. I think you've been watching. I think you've been blood beating without me lately.
Oh, I do have a wife, Jay.
Oh man, what do you think, Jay?
I mean, that's the thing. Honestly, I love this movie. I don't think there's a thing that I don't like about this movie for me to do a quote about.
Do your favorite one then. That's fine.
I mean, it's mystical boinging.
We'll do the mystical boinging sound.
Yeah,
Let's try.
Something like that, I think. And like the brothers in the closet screaming,
That's
and it's just like, and you watch like something like burst through the door, a la Jack Torrance with the axe.
Yeah, you could tell there was definitely like a Kubrickian thing there, and it just the samurai sword. Oh man! So I went with the line from Gary. This is when he's going off on his wife, and this is where you can tell that he's doing his best, but he's not an actor. Because he's doing a lot of like hand motions where he picks up his hands, like he spreads them wide and kind of lifts them up, like
what do
angrily.
I do with my hands?
And he's like, this is what he tells the wife, or well, not the wife, but his girlfriend, I guess. Even us good old boys get fed up. And it's like, all right, are you a good old boy? I thought that was like from the South, but maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, it's in the Midwest.
It's in the Midwest too.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
You don't have to go far to find yourself some good old boys.
Apparently, they all have ghost samurais at Christmas time. So
like traditions kind of get warped. Like in like France, you've got Frau Perkta, but like in the Alps in Austria and Germany, you've got Krampus, but they're kind of the same, but they're kind of
right.
Or Father Christmas versus Santa Claus, you get that.
Right.
They've got ghost samurais in Wisconsin. We've got ghost ninjas here in Iowa. It's really weird. I'm sure it traces back to each other in some way.
I mean,
they come from a similar origin, right?
They're both from the same culture, yeah. But
that's right.
Don't confuse them, Jay. That would be very culturally insensitive of you.
Ghost ninjas. Oh man, now I feel like seeing a canon film, right? Golan and Globus. Let's get it done. But G.I. Joe taught us that knowing is half the battle. What do you think the other half is?
Going hunting with long establishing shots with your Uncle Pete.
If knowing's half the battle, the other half is just having psychic powers if you're alone with your family in the woods at Christmas. So
yes,
yeah, it definitely comes in handy.
I could go with that.
Yeah, start. The Bloodbeat begins. Guys, this has been a lot of fun. Tell me about your show or anything else you want to plug.
So we do a show called Horror for the Holidays. Every other week we watch a Christmas horror movie and talk about it. I think that's the best way to describe it. We do a synopsis, and then we've got little categories where we can discuss what we've watched.
It's about half as good as this show.
Right. We normally direct listeners to check out the other shows on the Christmas Podcast Network because our show's not very good.
It's not true.
But we've got a list of, now we're probably down to about 150, although they're making new Christmas horror movies every year. But we have a list of when we started, it was about 200 movies long. And we just slowly are making our way through it. But we also stop at other holidays to talk about Terror Train for New Year's, or Halloween movies at Halloween time, or Thanksgiving, or Jeff's favorite, Peter Rottentail for Easter.
Yes, of course.
Nice.
We also, some podcasts have hot girl summers. Well, we had a fat boy summer this July, and we watched some interesting horror movies themed around the 4th of July and summer in general.
Right.
Summery kind of feeling movie.
Yeah.
They weren't all summery movies, but they felt summery.
Yeah.
Kids on Bikes, Frogmen, the Zombie Apocalypse, all summery things.
Jaws 3D.
Oh yeah.
Oh, someday, yeah.
If you're looking forward to next St. Patrick's Day, I'm starting Jay on the long Odyssey of the Leprechaun movies.
Oh wow, yeah.
For the first year, so that here's a little thing, but a little parting of the kimono, a little peek behind the curtain. We did for
behind
our
the samurai
St.
helmet
Day episode, we did Maniac Cop, which
I
is
love
a
it.
St. Patrick's Day movie.
Love it. Yeah.
Maniac Cop 2 takes place directly after the events of Maniac Cop, except now it's Christmas time. For our second St. Patrick's Day, we did Maniac Cop 2. And so for our third St. Patrick's Day, we did Maniac Cop 3, which does not take place during any holiday, but does involve the greatest chase scene in cinema history, where the Maniac Cop is on fire, pushing cars out of the way with his bare hands, driving like a police car that he ripped the door off of. It's fantastic.
He really does get stronger.
Now we're transitioning out of our Maniac Cop phase and into our Leprechaun phase, our Leprechaun era.
Yes.
I only ever saw the first one, but I really liked it. So, yeah, very, very interesting. Can't wait. And they can find you on the interwebs at
all the podcast places, youtube.com/horror for the holidays.
We're all over social media. We are at Horror 4 Holidays. That's horror, the number 4 holidays.
Yep. Right on. Guys, thanks again. This has been a lot of fun.
It's our pleasure.
Thank you. It's always a blast. Whenever I get a Jerry D email, I'm like, oh man, we're gonna do it.
Well, it's very rare, especially now later on in our lives, that we get invited to Bloodbeat with somebody.
Well, especially since
parallel play.
You know what? I'm never gonna think of anything like that the same way again. But on that note, I will end it with, Dolly's so doggone stupid. She comes home and tells Mom she's quitting school as soon as we doggone arrive. What kind of timing is that? Right before Christmas. So check us out on our social media pages, which you can find at linktree.com/totallyradchristmas. And if you're feeling like Ted and Dolly surviving a supernatural samurai slaughter, leave us a review on iTunes. It helps us reach more people and spread some rad holiday cheer. Now, don't forget to check out our merch shop on tpublic.com and our super dope website, totallyradchristmas.com. Have you got the message, sweetheart? Later, dudes.
Ah!